Hi everyone, we are going to be trying out some hot new makeup in this video today that has just launched in the UK. There are 8 brand new products, actually 7. One of them is just brand new to me and I was desperate to place it in this video. So we've got products from Suku, Dior, Too Faced, Victoria Beckham, Benefit, Charlotte Tilbury and Guerlain. Let's get straight on with it. If you're new here, hi, my name's Gemma. I upload new content on YouTube every single week and I would absolutely love it if at any point in this video you are finding it helpful. I would love it if you would consider clicking on the like button and the subscribe button and the notification bell. The first product I'm going to try is from Dior. This is the Forever Glow Veil. I've only swatched this on the back of my hand so far and it was lush, so I am really looking forward to getting this on my skin. I'm actually only going to put it on half of my face because the foundation that I've chosen today from Guerlain is actually quite a glowy, more illuminating foundation, so I want to see what difference this will make to my skin and how that foundation actually looks. Now on the swatch, it was a very subtle glow. It was an expensive glow. It looked really high-end, which obviously it is. I mean, this costs a pretty penny, but it also made the skin on the back of my hand feel super smooth and just really hydrated and nourished without feeling heavy, sticky, or greasy. So that sank in extremely quickly, no effort, no bother. It's not left any sort of slip on the surface of the skin. It doesn't feel silicone-y at all. It just feels super smooth and hydrated. The ingredients in here, it does have a fragrance. Like all Dior products, if you are sensitive to fragrance, you're not going to like this. Alcohol is also quite high up on the INQUIRIES list. I'm not bothered about that at all. This is not skincare. I make sure that I prep my skin first with my skincare ingredients, making sure my skin is hydrated and nourished before I'm applying this. So the alcohol content within this product doesn't bother me, but again, if you are sensitive to alcohol, you may not like this. To counteract the alcohol content, this does have some really hydrating ingredients in there. It's got glycerin, squalane, and meadowfoam seed oil in there. It's made my skin feel beautiful. It's a subtle, very expensive, chic looking glow. Loving what I'm seeing at the moment, but again, I will update you in a pinned comment whether this starts to make my skin feel tight, whether it starts to break down. I will let you know how long this lasts and how my makeup looks at the end of the day. Let's pop some foundation on my skin. Now this is not going to be a first impressions because I have tried this numerous times over the holidays and really liked what I saw. This is from Guerlain and it's the Gold Skin Rejuvenating Radiance Foundation. Now I've not worn this in a couple of weeks because I wanted to save it for this video. I only have a sample size. I will be buying the full size version, so that should say it all. Do I think this is the best foundation I've ever tried in my life? Probably not, but it does look beautiful on my skin. When I got colour matched at the Guerlain counter, I did have a little bit of fake tan on. That is not obviously recommended. We are going to have to make this work with a little bit of bronzer down my neck, but hey ho. It is a lovely foundation, so we will make it work. So this is totally the right amount of glow for me. It's not too much where I look shiny, but it is just enough. It's got the right amount of luminosity, and to top it all off, it dries down really quickly. It really adheres to the skin whether I've got a primer on or no primer, and it lasts for a really long time throughout the day as well. Now you'll notice I didn't cover over my imperfections before I started applying the concealer. Done that on purpose so that you can see exactly the level of coverage that this will give you. I'm applying a very sheer layer of the foundation and we can build this up if we need. This has a similar finish to the Dior Forever Skin Glow Foundation, which you all know, if you've been watching me since way back when, you will know is one of my ride or die foundations. This has more longevity in my opinion though. It does have a slightly higher price point than the Dior foundations, but for me it's worth it. You would have to be your own judge on whether that was actually worth it for you. If you love how the Dior Forever Skin Glow looks on your skin, but you're finding it just doesn't last throughout the day, I would definitely consider getting a little sample of this and trying this out at home. So you can see that this has given me a decent level of coverage. If I'd have applied a little bit of concealer underneath this, 100% my skin would look flawless, and I've hardly applied any of the foundation whatsoever. It feels completely weightless on my skin and it's just got that sheen to it. Another thing that I'm really impressed with is because this dries down so quickly, applying it to my eyelids, I don't have any creasing on my eyelids of the foundation at all, and that very rarely happens for me. Maybe a tiny little bit here, but nothing really to write home about, so that is definitely a positive. I'm going to move on to my brows. This is the brand new Benefit product Fluff Up Brow Wax, and I'm just going to run that through my brows to style them. This is pretty much immediate. Now, if you're expecting results like you get from the 24-hour brow setter, you may be slightly disappointed. This is a completely different product for completely different purposes. So if you want that laminated look, you're probably better off going for the 24-hour brow setter. This one really thickens and stiffens the brow hairs without making them go crunchy at all. It sticks them to where you want them to be, but it just gives you that fuller look to the brow. I'm not quite sure if they're going to do a tinted version in this. I didn't see one that was available to buy at the time that I purchased this one, but I'm really enjoying it at the moment. I wore this to the football match the other day and my brows did not move, and it's really easy to apply, so it's definitely beginner friendly and it's not difficult to remove at the end of the day, which a lot of people have said that the Schwarzkopf Got to Be brows and edges is difficult to remove. I would agree with you. Definitely needs an oil cleanser to get it off, whereas any old cleanser will remove this, and yet it just lasts all day and gives me the look that I want. You don't need a lot of product in your brow to actually style them. The spoolie is also completely different to the 24-hour brow setter, and the product is much waxier. It's less of a gel, more of a brow wax. Really like it. Don't have anything negative to say at this point. It doesn't leave a residue on my skin like some brow gels can do. Really like it. So I usually use my NYX Lift and Snatch to create individual hairs on my brows, which can take quite a bit of time. Today I thought I would just go down the easier route and use my NYX brow pencil in the shade Ash Brown. This one is the Microbrow pencil. It was my ride or die for so many years. I still love it. If you are going to apply a pencil to your brows, or in fact a brow pen to your brows, I would do it after using the brow wax, because the brow wax, from experience, can make all the other products that you've applied beforehand bleed out, and then you've got to clean it up, and if you've applied your foundation already, it looks a little bit of a mess. So I've learned from experience to do the filling in second, the brow wax first. Just thought I would pass that little bit of information on. I thought I'd do a little bit of a smoky eye today, but something extremely subtle just with a bit of liner. This is the Satin Kajal liner in the shade Sea Grey from Victoria Beckham Beauty, and I saw this and I had to have it. This is so beautiful. It just draws on the skin completely smoothly. I've never known an eye pencil be so smooth. No waxiness. It is just soft and gorgeous. Let me just show you, even if you just tap it on the eye without dragging the skin at all, this is the easiest liner to apply. Just tap, 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 and you have it exactly where you want it. Because it's so soft, the liner does all the work for you. This one does have a little bit of flex in it, so a little bit glittery. It's quite luminous, this one. So they do have some more matte versions on the website, but I just felt like this was the way to go today. A little bit of sparkle, and you can just keep on layering it up if you want to. And then on the other end, there is a smudger. So if you want to smudge that out a little bit for about a minute, this remains very, very movable. And then it dries down and will not budge. I have a couple of shades in the brand new Too Faced concealer. These are the Born This Way Ethereal Light Illuminating Smoothing Concealer. I have the shades Buttercup and Oatmeal. Buttercup is a slightly more neutral, warm undertone. That's the top swatch. And Oatmeal is slightly cooler in undertone. Usually I would veer towards the more neutral, cool undertone because I just feel like that disguises my under eye circles a little better. But we're going to try both of these, and because of the shade of the foundation, which is off, let's face it, we'll try them both. Let's try them both. So this is Buttercup, and on my left side, which is the right side of your screen, we have Oatmeal. You can see Oatmeal is much more brightening immediately. It is slightly lighter in shade, blending out really nicely to begin with. Not giving me a massive coverage, but the illumination underneath the eye is reflecting the light. So it's giving me coverage with that reflection rather than actual coverage of the product. I would say this is a high light coverage to low medium coverage. Not the sort of coverage that I'm used to for an under eye concealer. Being completely honest, I would usually go for something with a little bit more oomph. So let's just see if this is buildable. It definitely is. This applies beautifully. It's not too thick. It's the right consistency. It's a little bit sticky when I'm trying to blend it out with my finger, but it's blending out beautifully and effortlessly into the foundation. Now that is the Buttercup side, so that's the warmer side. Nice coverage. Let's go in with the Oatmeal, which is slightly cooler toned. So I thought this was going to be my favourite, and actually it's not. Probably in the winter months, which I know we're in winter, but tell my foundation that. I think when I'm wearing a winter shade foundation, this would look really nice. I don't particularly like really layering up a concealer, so I'm going to play around with this a little bit more and definitely see if by layering this concealer up, I'm going to create any sort of creasing underneath the eye, because that would be a big no-go for me. I usually like applying something with a lot of coverage so I can just apply one layer, be out the door. Less product underneath the eye works for me. So we will see how this wears, but at the moment, Buttercup goes much better with the shade of this foundation. But again, I think Oatmeal will be my shade. For those of you that want to know, I do not see any hint of any glitter within this formula. Yes, it's very illuminating, but it's more of a reflecting illuminating rather than a sparkle illuminating, which I think is incredibly flattering. Yes, it's not as much coverage as I'm used to with one layer of my Huda Beauty concealer. So if you're after full coverage, perfection coverage, you're probably not going to get it with this, but I do think it is really flattering, and to top it off, it's not creasing, and I haven't powdered this in place and I haven't overly worked it into the skin. Just killing my lashes a little bit before I apply some mascara. Now the mascara that I've chosen to apply today is the one that's brand new to me, but it's not brand new on the market. I've been so impressed with Victoria Beckham Beauty. Everything that I've tried, bar one product, I absolutely adored. So I had to try the mascara. This is the Future Lash, and it's supposed to be a smudge-free lifting mascara. So we are going to test that out. Now, usually I would like to give this 3 days wear before I start giving my comments, because after 3 days you've got to the consistency and formula that's really going to hug the lashes. This will thicken over the next 3 days, so maybe it's a little bit premature me giving my opinion, but I'm gonna give it anyway, and I will update you like I said in the pinned comment. The wand of this is really small and I didn't think I was going to like it, and actually I've proven myself wrong. This hugs every single lash. If you're after really voluminous, clumpy lashes, you're going to be disappointed. This is supposed to curl, lift, a little bit of length on this as well, but keep everything separated and really subtle. It's a classy mascara, nothing too clumpy or voluminous. Another thing I really like about the wand of the mascara, it doesn't hold a lot of excess product on the end of the wand. Now that might change over the next few days as the formula thickens. It's quite a fibrous, dry formula. There's nothing overly wet about this, which is probably how it's going to give me that smudge-free look, or so it says on the bottle. We will see how that performs. This is a sort of mascara that I would never go for. It's only because it's Victoria Beckham Beauty that I thought I would give this a whirl. Usually I would dodge these sorts of mascaras. I may be trying some more of these though, because this is really nice. I like the overall look that this has achieved. Subtle, but beautiful. So whilst I was applying the mascara, I had the opportunity to take a really close look at my skin. And I am slightly surprised by this. The side that I applied the Dior Forever Glow Veil, this side, yes, it looks smoother. It's supposed to look smoother, but it's actually less glowy than this side that doesn't have the primer on. I mean, I definitely prefer this side. It just looks more even, it looks more natural, it looks more flawless. And this side, I mean, you can see absolutely every pore on my skin. So this has definitely done its job, but I was expecting this side to be glowier, and it's actually less so than the side without the glow veil. So I just wanted to point that out. I will be using this again with multiple foundations to test it out, but at the moment, seriously impressed. So I'm just going to dust over a little bit of powder to dim down the shine. I just noticed I do have the tiniest bit of creasing right next to my lower lash line. This side, no creasing, this side just a tiniest bit, so I am going to set that in place. Then let's apply a little bit of blush. Now, I bought this because it completely intrigued me. I've never seen anything so interesting in a blush in my entire life, I don't think, and I've tried a lot of blushes. This is from Suku, and it's one of their pure colour blushes. How beautiful does that look? I'm intrigued, I'm excited. Let's get some of this on the skin. I've seen quite a few reviews that says this is incredibly subtle, but at the minute, I mean, that's nice. I'm just swirling my brush to make sure that we get all of the product in. You can definitely see that yellow hue coming through a little bit more. I was expecting this to be more subtle than it actually is. I'm not quite sure what people were talking about when they said that this hardly showed up on their skin. Maybe it's because they had a lot deeper complexion than mine and I am quite fair-skinned, but I really like this. For those of you that do not like a sparkle, there is a definite sheen of sparkliness on the top of this blush, but that does not put me off at all. I have worn more sparkly blushes than these, and I don't think you can see the sparkle. It just looks illuminating. I don't own anything like this in my collection at all. Really beautiful. Love it. Let me know your thoughts. I've gone a bit overboard. I'm gonna have to buff this out a little bit. I wasn't expecting the pigmentation. quite obviously. So I finally got my hands on this. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Glow Glide Face Architect Highlighter in the shade Champagne Glow. I only bought the shade Champagne Glow because I watched Charlotte Holcroft's review where she reviewed the entire collection, and I looked at the swatch of this and thought that is glorious and will definitely suit my skin. So this is the one that I bought, and this is the one that we're trialing out today. I applied this side with my fingertip, which in hindsight was a little bit too punchy for me. I mean, wow. It really does work. I'm going to try softening it off a little bit, applying this side with a brush, just to see if we can get something slightly more subtle, because I'm not a massive fan of highlighter. I know a lot of people use it on a daily basis. I'm generally not one of those people, but this may turn me into one of those people. It's a really pretty colour. Highlighters usually scare me a little bit because I have a lot of texture on my skin, and I have a lot of large pores on my skin, and usually a highlighter will make those look a little bit bigger. I mean, yes, this will accentuate the texture that I have on the top of my cheekbones, but I don't feel like this is accentuating my pores. I'm just going to take my finger and blend that out a little bit. I really like that. That's lovely. Am I going to be wearing this on a daily basis? No. If I go out somewhere nice and I really want that pop on the top of my cheekbones, this will probably be the highlighter that I gravitate towards. So I've just popped a little bit of the Victoria Beckham lip liner in the shade 02 just to line my lips a little bit, and I'm going to be applying a brand new lipstick from Dior. Now these come in 3 different finishes. You've got a velvet finish, a satin finish, and a matte finish, and not all the shades that are on the website are available in each and every finish, so depending on the shade you want depends on the finish that you get. So I've bought a satin finish and also a velvet finish, and I vowed this year not to go for shades that I already have in my collection, so these are going to be slightly different on me, maybe a little bit lighter, maybe a little bit pinkier rather than the brownie hues I usually go for. These are the Rouge Dior Couture Colour Lipstick Floral Lip Care Longwear. That's what it says on the box anyway, and I have the shades 564 Pink Leopard, which is in the velvet finish. That is the bottom shade, and I also have the shade 253 in Rose Feline, which is in the satin shade and is far more subtle. It's got those lip gloss vibes. I think I want more subtle than vibrant. I may regret that decision, but we're going to try Rose Feline in 253, which is the shinier of the two. I actually wouldn't call this a satin finish. I think this is quite glossy. Definitely slightly lighter in shade than I would usually go for, but I do like it. I think it's very, very pretty. I think that's nice. I will definitely try the other shade in another video. Sort of wishing I'd gone for a more brownie tone now. I have about 20 lipsticks in my drawer, all from different brands, all completely different lipsticks, all in the same shade. So I'm just not doing it this year, but I sort of wish I had, because I really like the feel of this. It feels nourishing, it feels hydrating, it feels glossy, but I'm not 100% on the shade. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'll definitely try 564 Pink Leopard in another video, or at least I'll wear it in another video so you can see what it looks like on the face. I think we're done. Are we done? I think we're done. So that's the finished look for today. I really hope this video has helped you decide whether you want to pick any of these items up or whether they are definitely not for you. The ones that I've been most impressed with, the Dior Forever Glow Veil, I will definitely be using again with other foundations to see if it's as smoothing with some of the other foundations that I have in my drawer. Also love the Benefit Fluff Up Brow Wax. The Victoria Beckham eye pencil in the shade Sea Grey is just stunning. Really love that. I love the Suku blush. I think that is really, really pretty. And the Victoria Beckham mascara I also really like, but it's not an everyday one for me. It's when I want that more subtle, more fluttery, separated look. And I really do like the Dior lipstick. It feels very nice. It also tastes very nice as well. It's got that lovely flavour to it, but not 100% on the shade. The rest of them I think are really nice products, but probably not ones that I'm going to reach for daily, whereas these ones I am very eager to try again tomorrow and let you know my thoughts. Really hope you've enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and hope to see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.